Welcome to the LinkedIn Authority Blueprint. This is a webinar to teach you how to create a LinkedIn marketing strategy. My name is Joe Applebaum. I am the CEO of Ajax Union, a B2B digital marketing agency based in Brooklyn. I'm a strategist, a coach, a marketing expert, and I want to help 1,000 hungry entrepreneurs go from frustration to motivation. Who is this webinar for? So, this is for B2B marketing professionals, business owners, executives, anyone looking for leads or referrals, entrepreneurs, sales professionals, and marketing directors. So tell me right now in the chat, which one of these are you? Are you in B2B marketing? Are you a business owner? Are you someone looking for leads? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a sales rep? Or do you love learning and growing? Because this is what this is about. So in the chat box, please let me know which one of these are you so that I can shift the presentation to make sure that I'm speaking to the right audience. So we have business owner, business owner, business owner. I like that. We have learning. That's very good. Learning is important. Anybody else want to chat with me? Go ahead, put in the chat box. Business owner. Okay, so far we have a lot of business owners. That's good. I love that. I love that. Go business owners. Yes, entrepreneur and business owner. Okay, great. Let's keep moving along. So, Ajax Union is a B2B digital marketing agency based in Brooklyn. We do digital marketing strategy. That means we come up with plans for businesses. We also do lead generation, lead nurturing, and account-based marketing, and we are the LinkedIn marketing experts. We're located in Dumbo, Brooklyn, New York, and we've been around for 10 years. And over the course of the 10 years, we learned a thing or two, and we love making a difference for our community. So we created a meetup called the LinkedIn Meetup. And if you want to meet up with us, our next meetup is January 9th. And we've had over 350 people come to our meetups. And the reason we created these meetups is so that we can actually meet the people in our community. So I'd highly recommend you come to these meetups. People are generating massive amounts of revenue from the people that they're meeting, and they're building real relationships with people on LinkedIn. You see, a lot of times you have people on LinkedIn and you're connected to them, but you've never met them. And when you meet them in person, the relationship gets to the next level. You have a next level relationship. And I see some people on here right now that have come to these meetups and have built massive relationships in the meetup. So thank you for coming. If you want to join, we have 5 more slots available for the January 9th event. You can go to ajaxunion.com/meetup if you happen to be local here, or if you know any professionals that can benefit from this, feel free to send them the link through LinkedIn, because one of the ways to stay top of mind with people is send them invitation. So look for people in New York. If you're not in New York, if you're in Canada, right? So we have some people from Canada here, or if you're from Seattle, Washington, search on your LinkedIn for people in New York that are your relationships and send them over to this. Say, hey, check out this event going on January 9th. You'll be doing them a favor. All right, so LinkedIn is the largest networking event in the world where people show up every single day. And did you know that 65% of B2B companies have acquired a customer through LinkedIn? And 46% of social media traffic to B2B websites come from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn generates 3 times more qualified leads than LinkedIn and Facebook combined. There's a study done by HubSpot. Very powerful statistics. And that's why Microsoft paid $26.2 billion for LinkedIn about a year and a half ago or so, and they paid 25% more than what the stock was worth at the time. So they made a big investment in the social media platform because they see the potential, not because of what it's worth right now, because they see the potential, and they want to take LinkedIn to 3 billion users in the next couple of years. So right now, LinkedIn's at 500 million users, or a little over 500 million, but let's just call it 500 million to round off the number. There are 61 million decision makers and 61 million senior level influencers and 40 million decision makers. It is the most used social media platform for Fortune 500 companies. So there's a lot of influence on LinkedIn. And the thing is, most people are not super engaged. Most people are lurkers on LinkedIn. And the question is why? Are you engaged on LinkedIn? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 meaning you're on LinkedIn every single day, multiple times per day, and you're engaging and posting and commenting and doing all this stuff. And 1 means that you kind of just looking in and watch and not really engage or post or comment. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 means you literally just watch, and 10 means you're totally engaged, you're messaging and posting and have articles and doing everything that you need to be doing the right way. I want to know where you guys are. So we have some people that are 1s. Most people that I speak to are somewhere between 4 and 5. So we have 6s, 8s. Okay, cool. Shaya's a 6. Candace is a 1 and a 2. And the question is why? If you're a 1 and you know there's so much influence here, why are you not engaging more? Why are you not getting involved more? Why are you not taking things to the next level? Why are you not building real relationships? When I ask this to a lot of people, they tell me, they look at me blank in the face and they're like, I don't even know why. I don't even know why. The 3 most important, what do you think? I want to ask you a question in the chat box. Tell me right now, what are the 3 most important things that you can do on LinkedIn? And the reason I'm asking you this is because I'm using a Socratic method for your learning. I can tell you everything, give you all the information, but if you try to guess, the likelihood of you learning is much, 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 much higher. Dogmatic teaching is when I just tell you everything and you take it as dogma. But Socratic means that you are actually learning by discovering. So what are the 3 most important things that you can do on LinkedIn? Okay, so Nathan said post, post, post. Shaya said post, comment, and like. Nathan said add value. Leo said post, engage, and DM. Very good. That's exactly it. Posting, engaging, and messaging. Those are the 3 most important things that you can do on LinkedIn. Communicate with other people. I would never get to communicate with people I forgot about. Very good. Now, check this out. When it comes to posting, there are only 1 million posts being posted out of 500 million people on LinkedIn. And when I ask people why are you not posting on LinkedIn? You know what they tell me? You know what they tell me? They tell me I hear a lot of reasons. And I always tell people, you either have reasons or you have results. So here are the top reasons why people are not posting on LinkedIn. Number 1 is they don't know what to post. Number 2 is people will judge me, or I'm going to be too in their face, or my content is not valuable enough. Let me ask you a question in the chat. Tell me right now, why are you not posting on LinkedIn every single day? Some people say my connections are not interested in seeing my posts. Does any of these resonate with you? Which one of these resonate with you the most? I'm afraid of posting. I don't want to get judged. Or posting is super hard and only talented influencers should post. Or I'm not the type of person to post content. I like watching. I've heard that so many times. Or I hear I don't have time or I'm lazy. So which one of these are you? Which one of these are you? I don't know what to post. I hear that a lot. Yes. So we have number 1. Candace said number 1. Which one of these are you? Where are you? What's your struggle when it comes to LinkedIn? Is it that you don't have time? Is it that you don't know what to post? Is it that you didn't get engagement? Is it that you just don't see that it's not relevant for your business? Which one of these are you? And if you knew what Yitzi says, he doesn't know what to post. Very good. Okay, great. So I want to know. I want to create a little discovery because you have to realize what the problem is. So Leah said, honestly, I don't enjoy reading anyone else. How could I? So how could I? I don't enjoy reading anyone else every day. So how could I? Okay. Aaron said, haven't developed connections yet. Happening this year with networking. Okay, cool. So if you haven't developed connections, you think you can't post because you haven't developed connections. Abby said she's still learning the platform. Michael says, I'm developing my niche. Okay, so the reason why most people don't post is because they don't have a strategy. Now let me show you where people are on the ladder of success and where you need to go and the keys to success, okay? Joss said, for me, mostly lack of focus. Okay, cool. So there are people on the bottom, they're technophobes. They lost their LinkedIn password and they couldn't figure out how to get onto this webinar, so that's not you. They're fearful, lost, and tired, and they need coaching to learn the basics of LinkedIn. They just need to kind of like learn the basics. They like have no idea. They don't know where they are. They need a coach. Then there are the people that are lurkers. The people that are lurkers, they're unsure, they're frustrated, they're hopeful, and they're surviving. They're barely marketing their business. Their key to success is to actually have a strategy, to get a marketing strategy on having a right target and on message and have an actual plan. If you fail to plan, then plan to fail because you need to have an actual plan. So there are people that are lurkers. And then there are people that are dabblers. They kind of post every once in a while, but they know something is missing and they kind of procrastinate posting. They're getting by, but they're missing out. And what they need, their keys to success is they need assets. They need to create a library of content and schedule to automate their marketing. And then there are the people that are on the top. Very few people have the influencer status where you're in control, you're confident, you're ready for growth, and your key to success is now that you have a lot of attention, the key is to monetize that attention and find better ways to monetize your influencer status. So which one of these are you? Tell me. Are you a technophobe? Did you forget your password? You're not sure how to log in? You're totally frozen when it comes to technology? Are you a lurker? Are you the type of person that likes to watch but is unsure, maybe a little frustrated and hopeful? Are you a dabbler? You post every once in a while, but you're often procrastinating and you're not really getting things done and you don't have that consistency that you need on LinkedIn and on social media and in life and in business in order to get results. You need to have consistency. Often people that come to this webinar are standing between a lurker and a dabbler. That's where most people are, kind of like Joss. You're standing between a lurker and a dabbler. Often I also get dabblers that want to become influencers. Now, being an influencer doesn't mean you have millions of people watching you. I don't want to walk down the street and for every single person to know who I am. I kind of like being private a little bit, but I want my prospects to know who I am. That means I want 1,000 people to see me 1,000 times a year. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather go viral and have 1 million people see you once, or would you rather have 1,000 people see you 1,000 times? What would work better for your business? For me, having 1,000 of the right people see me 1,000 times is so much more important than to have 1 million people see me once. So although everybody wants to win the lottery and get rich quick and hope that they get 1 million likes, I don't want 1 million likes. I don't want 1 million likes. I want 20 likes. I want 30 likes of the right people. I want influencers, CEOs, people that are engaged, my referral partners to see me, like me, and trust me. I want them to see me, like me, and trust me. I want to be in front of the right people. Consistency is key, and you guys know this because you're already successful at some level. Now, if relationships are important to your business, then LinkedIn needs to be important to your business too. Why? Because that's where people are spending time. You have to be where your relationships are. Most people are performing random acts of LinkedIn networking and hoping that somebody will notice them. Itzy raised his hand. Itzy, thanks for raising your hand. I appreciate that. I don't know why you raised your hand, but in the chat, tell me why you raised your hand. Okay, so most people are performing random acts of networking on LinkedIn and hoping somebody will come to you. You're not going to get lucky. You're just not. You're already lucky that you're on LinkedIn. Now it's time to have an actual strategy. So what is strategy? Strategy is just a plan of action. It's a fancy word for saying a plan. You need to have a plan of action or a policy designed to achieve a major overall aim. And the problem is most people don't have a major overall aim in their life or in their business. They're just trying to make it. Energy without strategy is a waste of time. So you actually have to have a plan. You actually have to have a plan. So how are you going to create a proper LinkedIn strategy? And that's where we come in. And that's what this webinar is about. It's about teaching you how to create a plan. So there are 3 steps to create a plan on LinkedIn. And I'm going to show you how to go from a lurker to an influencer. So if you've seen this before, if you've seen this graphic before, say I have seen it before, yes. And if you have not seen this graphic before, say I have not. Because I want to describe this to you. So Yitzi said yes. Josh said yes. Shaya said yes. Okay. Leah said lots of times. Okay, great. Awesome. I just want to make sure that you guys have seen this before because this is literally the map. And once I teach you what this is about, you will understand exactly how to be successful on LinkedIn and possibly every other social media site as well. So let me explain. On the bottom, you're being a lurker. That means you have no strategy, you have no plan. So you got to first set your goals. You got to go from having confusion to clarity, which means you're probably confused. You probably don't have clear goals. Then you need to find your target market, the most ideal people. Instead of targeting everyone, if I say, who do you want to do business with? Don't just say everyone or anybody with a business. You want to be very, very specific. Think about demographic, geographic, psychographic, firmographic. Really think of the person you want to target. Then you think of message. Instead of having a bland message that speaks to everybody, have an effective message that speaks to the right person. Once you have a strategy, which does not have to be super complicated, could be as simple as this is my goal, this is how many clients I want, this is how much money I want to make, this is my target, this is who I want my ideal client to be, and this is my message, this is what I want to say in order to entice my ideal client to do business with me. Once you have that, then you move on to assets, which means what are the posts that are relevant and engaging, not irrelevant, that are relevant and engaging? What are the articles that instead of selling people things, you're actually educating them and taking them through the top of the funnel to the bottom line? And then what is the media that you're going to use? Instead of just using text, you can also include images and video and podcasts and stuff. What are those assets that you're going to be developing, creating, and putting together into a library? And then finally, step number 3 is promotion, where you schedule. So you have consistency, and we said consistency is the key, and then posting the right way, an optimized way, and then reporting, hoping, instead of hoping, you're actually knowing what you're going to get because you see on a regular basis. You guys have probably seen my graph where I want to get 1,000 people a week to log onto my profile, and I'm almost there. The past 2 weeks I've done that. Before that I haven't. I've been in there every once in a while. But I just looked at my statistics from January of 2018, and I only had a few dozen people looking at my profile. And since I've been consistent with this strategy, I've literally had over 9,000 people check out my profile in the past several months, in the past 3 months. And my goal is to get to 10,000, which is to have 1,000 people a week consistently, not just to go viral one week and have 20,000 in 1 week, but every single week have the same people looking at me over and over and over and over and over. I want 1,000 people to see me 1,000 times. That's my strategy. So in terms of your goals, I wanted to ask you, how many connections do you have right now? In the comments right now, tell me, how many connections do you have right now? How many qualified connections do you have right now? How many of the right, whether you're targeting CFOs, how many CFOs are you connected to? When I ask people this, they don't know. They had never sat down and searched CEO first degree connections to see how many they have. I currently have 5,000 out of my 15,000 connections. 5,000 are CEOs. Another 5,000 are marketing directors, and another 5,000 are directors of sales. That's how I break up my 15,000 people for the most part. There's also people that I know from school and this and that and the other thing, but that's how I break up my connections in 3 different demographics with 3 different messages. How many connections are actually real connections? When I analyzed my connections, when I had 8,000 connections and I analyzed all my connections, I determined that I had 2,500 people that I knew, 1,500 people that I knew well, and 375 people that I knew very, 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 very well, and that they knew me very well, and that I see them a few times a year. How many articles do you have? How many views do you have? How many likes and shares and posts, and how many calls would you like to have? So I really want you to think about this when it comes to your goals, and I recently put up an article about goals on LinkedIn, my goals for 2019, so later go check out that article. But you want to get very specific with your goals, because if you don't have your goals set up correctly, you're not going to succeed. And by the way, tomorrow I have a goal-setting masterclass. If you go to joeapplebaum.com/goals, you can sign up to that goal-setting masterclass on how to set goals, where I take you through my 3-step process on how to set goals. After you set your goals, number 2 is who is your target market? Because if you're targeting everybody, you're targeting nobody. So in the chat box right now, tell me, who is your target market? Who is your most ideal client? What does a target market mean? Your ideal client should be somebody that you enjoy working with, that values your products and services, and you could make a profit of them. Here, I have a question for you. I really want you to think about this for a second. Would you rather people buy from you because you're the lowest cost and everybody flocks to you because you're the lowest cost? Or would you rather people buy from you because you're the highest value and people are willing to pay you more for the value? People are willing to stay with you, even though a competitor comes to them and say, hey, I'll save you money, switch to me. They're going to be like, no, because I trust this person's value. I trust their quality. Which one would you rather? Value? Write value if you'd rather value in the chat. Or price if you'd rather be the lowest price. Which one would you rather be? So for me personally, of course, I would rather provide a tremendous amount of value, and everyone's writing value, 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 value. I also want to be the best price, but I'm not going to sacrifice value for price, because value trumps price all day and all night, especially to your ideal clients. Okay, Shia wrote big time value. That's great. So value is what we're after. So if value is what you're after, it's so much more important to give that to the most ideal client, because what one type of client values is not what another type of client values. If you're going to be targeting clients at value price, you're targeting the wrong clients, because eventually they're going to leave when somebody else charges a little bit less. So you got to target clients that don't value price, but that value quality, or that value speed, or that value your relationship or the service that you provide. And your messaging is what's going to attract those people. Somebody came over to me and they said, Joe, I would love to offer you PEO services. And I said, I don't want PEO services. He's like, I'm going to save you money. I know you're using a PEO right now, a professional employer organization right now for your staff. And I want you to switch to me because I'll save you money. And I said, I don't want to save money. I want a real relationship with a PEO that's not just going to try to sell me without learning about me. I said, dude, you didn't learn about me at all. You don't know anything about me. He's like, what do you mean? I looked online. You have a lot of employees. I could save you lots of money. And I looked at him and I said, try that with somebody else. I'm the wrong client for you. I'm not looking to save money. I'm looking for value. So he had the wrong message for me. So if somebody did close based on trying to save money, that means the second somebody else comes to them to save them money, then boom. Another type of person that you want to think about is your target partner. Someone that works with the same clients that you work with and can refer business to you. So think about somebody that works with the same people so who, right now in the chat box, tell me who works with the same clients that you work with and can refer business to you. Now, for some people, it might be a CPA. For other people, it might be a lawyer. For me, it's marketing and sales professionals, coaches, consultants. Leah wrote therapists. Very good. Josh wrote accountants and commercial lawyers. Very good. I really want you to think about this and then ask yourself, how many of these target partners do you have in your network? How many of them have you had calls with? How many of them have you referred business to? Think about this. This is the way that you're going to grow your business. Then the third step to a marketing strategy is your message must add value. So what is your message? Does it add value? What are you good at? What problems or pain points do you solve? So I want to know in the comments below, tell me what is the problem that you solve? There are 3 types of problems. If you want to write this down, this is important. There are 3 types of problems that you can solve for clients. You could either make people money, you can save them money, or you could eliminate risk. Typically, small companies need to make money. They don't care about risk because they are a risk. People that are growing their companies, they want to save money because they have lack of cash flow when they're growing their companies. If you're doing $1 million to $5 million and you're growing very fast, your priority might be to save money. And if you're a really, really big company, your priority might be to eliminate risk so that you don't suffer, so that you can save pain. Shai wrote save pain. So those are the 3 types of things that you can derive as value. So think about the type of company that's most ideal for you, and then think about the value that you can add and make sure to include that in your message. I want you to think about the pains that your client might have, or the goals or the needs that they have, and write those down. That should be your message. That's the message that you want to add value to your clients. Now that you have your goals, your target, and your messaging, and by the way, it probably takes you half an hour to sit down and write each one of these out. So I would recommend spending 1 hour to 2 hours filling out what are your goals, who is your target, what is your message, and really thinking about this. Okay, I really want you to think about this before 2019. Put an hour in your calendar to do this. And then you can brainstorm topics for posts, articles, and media, but don't just brainstorm topics before you know who your target client is and who your target partner is. So now most people, when they're posting, they don't know what to post because they don't understand that there are really 6 types of posts on LinkedIn. There are personal posts like stories, photos, and family. There are inspirational posts like quotes, messages, and gratitude. There's engaging posts, which is like stories, frustrations, and problems. There's informational posts like tips, links for your informations or public service announcements. And then there are entertainment posts like funny, and interesting. And then there's help posts like questions, call to actions, and offers. Which one of these posts have you posted most of in the past? Do you get personal and share personal stories about your frustrations in business and your growth and what you're up to yourself and your goals? Are you more inspirational? Do you share messages and gratitude and quotes? Are you more engaging where you share stories and problems? Most people share information. That's what they share. But most people on the internet and most human beings, they don't want your information. They don't want your information. And they also don't want you to offer them things until you build a relationship, until you know who you're talking to. So you got to mix it up. When you're building out your content calendar, which we're going to talk about soon, you got to mix it up and have different types of posts. Now, posts are the lifeblood of LinkedIn. Everything happens through the post. So, for example, I recently asked a question, what do you believe that most people don't believe? Or I posted a selfie and me and a bunch of referral partners that I have that we were meeting, and I mentioned what I love about them. Or I mentioned my personal goal of reaching 150 recommendations on LinkedIn. And I shared all the recommendations that I got, and I thanked all the people, gratitude, I thanked all the people that have recently left me recommendations on LinkedIn. Very, very powerful. These are different types of posts that you can be posting to stay top of mind. But then there's an article. There are articles. And most people want to know, what is the difference between a post and an article? And I wrote a whole article about this specifically, where there's a very big difference between posts and articles. You see, articles are long-form content. It could be up to 40,000 words. A post can only have 1,300 characters, which is about 140 words or so. So you're very limited to what you can write in a post, but in an article, you can write a lot more. So my question to you is, have you written any articles? Have you written any articles? And the reason why you want to write a few articles on LinkedIn is because people on average would probably spend between 5 and 10 minutes reading an article. That means instead of reading a post for 7 seconds, you're actually building a deeper relationship with your audience. So when you're writing an article, you want to think about, number one is, who is the target market that you're thinking about? So I like writing articles for CEOs or marketing directors. Try on their shoes. How does it feel? But make sure they don't have fungus. What pains do they have? Or what pains could they have in the future? And how could you help them? And then think about the best evergreen article that you can write, which are articles that will last forever. An article that won't expire, like a trending article. Like, for example, how to run a networking event or how to create LinkedIn videos on the go. These are the types of articles that I've written. And don't try to get millions of people to see your article. Your article doesn't need to go viral. You want the right people to read your articles. I would rather have 390 people read my article that are CEOs, like, do these 5 things, and you will 10x your productivity and become 100 times more productive, than have millions of the wrong people from the wrong countries looking at my article. So I know who's looking at my article because I sent people to look at the article, and I see that they liked and they commented on my article. I want the right people to read about my goal-setting process or about why most people fail at BNI. Those are networkers, and so on and so forth. I don't need to go viral. I get the most from the articles that get the least views because I have the right people looking at it. So here's an article about articles and posts. I have both tactical and strategic differences between articles and posts on LinkedIn. The bottom line is, don't worry about how many people read your article. Instead, invest your strategy. Instead, your strategy can be that the right people should spend lots of time on your article. If I get 100 ideal clients to spend 10 minutes reading my article, I'm way happier than if I get 1 million people spending 2 seconds on a post or a quote from a famous entrepreneur. Does this make sense to you? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat box if this makes sense to you. I'm not looking to get viral. I'm looking to make a deep impact. And that's what relationship building is all about. Josh said it makes sense. Farah said it makes sense. Aaron said it makes sense. Leah said it makes sense. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tavia said it makes sense. Thank you. So the third part is the media to include in your asset library. So you want to make sure that you include audio, video, and images. Audio, video, and images, the 3 very important components that most people never include. People often just share a link and they hope for the best. But you can actually embed video into your posts. You can actually embed images into your posts. And those images really stand out. I like taking selfies. I take 1,000 selfies with 1,000 entrepreneurs every single year. This coming year, I'm going to take 1,000 selfies with 1,000 LinkedIn connections. So these are the 3 different things that you can do in terms of strategy, the 3 different things you can do in terms of assets. Now let's look at the third part, which is promotion, schedule, posting, and reporting. So in terms of scheduling, I want you to think about the frequency. How often should you be posting on LinkedIn? I want you to think about quality versus quantity and how to balance between the two. And I want you to think about staying top of mind. You see, for me, I want to stay top of mind very, very often. I don't need to go that deep. Every once in a while, I'll put a very deep article there. But most of the time, I just want to stay in front of people on a regular basis. So how often do you want to stay in front of people? Do you want to stay in front of people every day? I was just speaking to the CEO today. I had a conversation. I have 20 conversations every single week. That's my goal. I want 1,000 conversations a year. I want to have 20 conversations a week. So one of my conversations that I had this morning was with the CEO, and I said, hey, would you like to learn more about the blueprint where we teach you how to post every single day? And he's like, I don't want to post every day. I think it's annoying when somebody posts every single day. You're not annoying, Joe, because I love you and I love your content, but I think I would be annoying if I posted every day. So I would rather post maybe once a week, maybe once every other week, and I'm happy that way. I don't know about you, but I want to be in front of my target audience every single day. By the way, let me ask you a question. How often do you want people to see you? How often do you want people to remember you? I want people to remember you, to remember me every day. Do you want them to remember you once in a while? Do you want them to remember you once a week, once a month, once a year, once in a decade? How often do you want your ideal target client and your target partner to remember you? In the chat box, tell me right now. I want you to write it down. How often do you want them to remember you, to think about you, to keep you top of mind so that they can refer business to you, so that they could call you when they need you? Forrest said always. Shaya said every day. I want to know how often you want them to remember you. Devorah said every day. I want people to remember me every day. So if you're not engaging, if you're not messaging, if you're not posting every day, the likelihood of people seeing you is very low. You know, there's a saying, they say, if you build it, they will come. I build it. Nobody came. Nobody came. Nobody comes when you build it. You know when they come? They come when you promote it, when you market it. That's why it's so important for you to post the right way with the right hashtags. Make sure that you have the right spelling and grammar. I have an admin log in every single morning and QA all the posts from the day before to make sure that everything has the right spelling and grammar. I don't wait to post. I just post. And then she'll go in there and she'll quality assurance it. And it doesn't cost me much for her to do that. Emoticons. How to appear as mobile versus desktop. Did you know that 57% of people log in from their cell phone? The links to include, the images to add. Here's a quick tip. Don't include a link in the post. Instead, include a link in a comment. Otherwise, LinkedIn will demote the value of your post. Go look at my posts that have links in them, and you're going to see they get very little exposure. The best exposure comes from the posts that don't have any links. You could always put links in your summary. I always tell people, go to my summary. Check out my summary. I got links in my summary. And by the way, if you want to see a rap video, go to my summary. If you want to see a link to my other resources, to testimonials, go to my summary. If you want to see future webinars, go to my summary. After you post, you want to have a promotion plan, which means you want to know who's going to help you promote it. I'm part of some engagement pods where people have an agreement to like and comment on each other's posts. So, and who do you tag in comments? Sometimes I say, follow these amazing people, and I'll tag a bunch of super engaged LinkedIn users that'll really give my post a boost because they'll all notice it inside their notifications, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, but you don't want to do this too often because it gets really annoying when you start mentioning the same people over and over and over and over and over. And then the most important number on LinkedIn, is your profile views. This is the key performance indicator, the indicator that will determine whether you're being successful on LinkedIn. I know that for me, every single person that visits my profile is worth $50 to me. Why? Because there's a certain amount of money that I want to make off LinkedIn. I want to generate over $2 million off my LinkedIn activities. And I know that for every X amount of people that come to my profile, I will get X amount of leads, which will turn into X amount of qualified leads, which will turn into X amount of calls, which will turn into X amount of proposals, which will turn into X amount of closed deals, revenue in our pocket that has a certain lifetime value. I really want you to think about that number and figure out what your number is right now and what your goal is for your number. By the way, I check this every single day, and I measure and I take a snapshot once a week. So I want you to start a weekly practice of taking a snapshot of how many people have viewed your profile every week. So right now, tell me, do you know how many people have viewed your profile in the past 90 days? Don't check. If you know, say I know. If you don't know, say I don't know, and you can check it later. No clue. Very good. All right, so initially I had 4,577 in May through August. And then August through October, I had 6,650. And you can see exactly who visited me, who the people are, and you can see how many interesting views based on my target demographic. And then when I posted this was December 20th, I was at 9,021, which I saw a nice increase. And my goal again is to have 1,000 what? 1,000 profile views every single week. So I'm finally getting there, and the key is to be able to sustain. That's the key. You want to sustain a certain level of success. So if you want 100 people to check you out every single week, then that is your goal, and then you have to post, engage, and message to make sure that you get to that level. I want to get to the 1,000 level. This is what I want to get to, and I want to stay there, so I have to keep maintaining my posts, my engagement, and so on and so forth, keep adding value. Now, for the people that are here that don't want to create their own blueprint themselves, I already told you what you need to know in order to do it yourself. If you want me to do it for you, I am doing this for one more person this year. One more person. I'm not doing it for more than one more person. Let me show you exactly how we do it. We take you through the 3 steps of strategy, assets, promotion. Now, I tell you how to do it, and I'm going to take questions right after this, but let me quickly show you Generally, to create a digital marketing strategy, it costs $15,000. But today, we're offering you a special offer because you attended this webinar. We're offering this to one person that wants to sign up to this, where we send you a questionnaire. It takes you an hour, 2 hours to fill out. There's a lot of questions in the questionnaire. Once you fill out the questionnaire, we do a 90-minute strategy session where we come up with a brainstorming of all your ideas. We review, make sure that you have the right goals, make sure they have the right target market, the right target partner. We make sure that you have the right messaging, that you understand the goals of your customer, that you understand your own passions and all these other ideas. And then over the course of 90 minutes, we record a video together where we create your strategy. And then our team will take that video, and over 2 weeks, we'll create for you 5 things, which include a 13-week content calendar with ideas, an asset library, a connections dashboard, profile optimization tips, and a direct messaging strategy. So if you want all this for a limited time only, just for one person, we're going to do this. We're going to offer this for $1,597. I already closed my 30th, but I'm going to do one more person. My goal was to do 30 and not do any more, but because I did this webinar and you guys showed up, it's not for everybody, but if it's right for you and you're interested in more information, right now in the chat box, say, Joe, I'm interested, and I will send you an email with a video and an article that you can watch, that you could reply to if you want a questionnaire, and someone on my team will get you started on this. So if you're in, say I'm interested, and we'll send you more information through email after this webinar. Now let's keep the learning going. Remember, if you're interested, say I'm interested now. Okay, we got 3 interested. Okay, good. Boom. Awesome. So hopefully I'll send you the information. You'll take a look at it, and if it works for you, it works for you. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, and by the way, if you want to set up a call with me to discuss this or anything else, you could always go to my profile, and this link is on my profile, to set up a 15-minute free call with me, ajaxunion.com/talktojoe. Go to my profile, look at my summary, and you can find that link. Now, let's answer some questions. And by the way, ask questions. By the way, did you guys get value from this? I want to know. If you got value, say, I got value. If you didn't get value, say, Joe, I didn't get value. This is a total waste of time. How much value? Did you get value? Yes or no? Did you get value, 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 value? If you got value, say I got value. Okay, good. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are amazing. All right. So let's get into this. How can I use LinkedIn efficiently to build useful network contacts? All right. The way that you can use LinkedIn is to build real relationships with people. The problem is that people think that they're just going to hit connect. They're just going to hit connect, and then they're going to get relationships and it's going to work. That doesn't work. It's kind of like going to a networking event, getting a business card and not doing anything with it. You have to build a real relationship. These are real human beings. Real human beings means real human relationships. You can't be transactional. You got to get over your fear of networking. This is not sales. This is networking. Of course, you make sales from networking, but the priority is to network, to really, really learn how to network. Jeff said premium versus navigator, premium versus free. If you're going to use this and you want to see who checked out your profile, I'll give you an example right here. If you want to see, let's go back over here. Over here, you can actually see the human beings that checked out your profile. You can only see it if you're paying for it. So if this is important to you and you want to see who the human beings are that are looking at your profile, then you pay for it so you can see that. Does that make sense, Jeff? This is the primary reason why you should pay for LinkedIn, so that you can see who looked at your profile and then get on a call with them and then close them. I do this all the time. And it works. It's amazing. There are other benefits like being able to search, being able to message people you're not connected to, and so on. Interesting View is somebody that's more likely to do business with me based on my targeting in Sales Navigator. I'm targeting people in Sales Navigator. So those are people that are interesting, like CEOs, decision makers, influencers, and so on. So how to generate business through LinkedIn, how to monetize LinkedIn. Have a plan. That's the key. Have a plan. If you don't have a plan, it's not going to work. So number one is you got to know what your goal is. If you don't have a very specific revenue goal, I set a revenue goal for December of $20,000 for the end of the year through Operation Diem, and I hit my freaking goal. I was surprised that I hit it, by the way, and my team told me I'm not going to hit it because I didn't have a track record of hitting my goal this way, right? There's no history that I can do this. But I put everything I had into this, and I was successful. I got to my goal, but because I had a goal. And I have a $2 million pipeline that I'm working on for next year, and I'm really excited about that, and that's why I'm going to have 1,000 calls next year. Somebody's like, Joe, how many calls do you have a day? My goal is never to have more than 12 calls in one day, but as soon as I have 20 calls booked in a week, I stop booking calls for that week because I have to follow up. I don't want to have too many calls in 1 week. I want to have a life too. I want to go for runs. I want to motivate. I want to read books. I want to be there with my family. I want to have fun too. Life is too short just to work, and make as much money as possible. I already did that the first 7 years of my business, and I didn't really have a life, and that's why I was 265 pounds. And I can go on and on about that. But let's talk about LinkedIn. How do I get email addresses for my LinkedIn connections? Very simple. Send them a message and say, hey, what's your email? Would love to send you an email. Also, if you click on their contact information, you will find their email there. Very simple. How to engage on LinkedIn in a way that's not annoying. By the way, I'm drinking water so that my throat doesn't go completely dry. The way that you engage with people and not being annoying is don't sell. Don't waste people's time. Be grateful. Be nice. Don't be a troll. I have a bunch of articles on that, on how not to be disgusting on LinkedIn. You want to be nice. You want to be interesting. You want to be interested. You want to ask thoughtful questions. Otherwise, you can ask the duck. I have a whole article on what to do when you ask the duck. You ask dumb questions, go ask the duck. How to scale personalized messaging when cold contacting. I'm going to get to that because I have a whole Operation Diem. I'll talk to that in a minute. How to actually convert and qualify leads. You got to get people on the phone. That's the key. You got to get people on the phone or get to meet them or something. That's what I do. How should I post on LinkedIn in order to be successful and reach clients? The way that you post on LinkedIn is posted based on who your target demographic is. What content is acceptable? We said the 6 types of content. What is one thing I can do with LinkedIn? Such by doing it, everything becomes easier and unnecessary. The one thing that you can do is have a strategy. Write your plan down. Spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Have a plan. How do I compute ROI on corporate buyers? Number 1 is understand what the lifetime value of a customer is, what you're willing to spend in terms of a cost per acquisition. If you need a calculator for this, I actually have a calculator on Ajax Union. You go to ajaxunion.com/CALC. We have a calculator there. You can literally calculate your ROI. How do I get more qualified leads on LinkedIn? Not waste time. By defining your target market, knowing what the message is, and having a goal. Damn, this is literally the plan. This is a strategy. This is what works for me and what works for my clients. How to organize content on LinkedIn through an asset library. We have one as part of the LinkedIn Authority Blueprint, but you can create your own library. You don't need my library. And if you hang around for a hot minute, I'll show you my library. How do I network with those that seem out of my league? Very simple. Be brave. Add value. Don't waste their time. When you send me a message that says, how are you? And I don't know who you are. WTF. Don't send me a message that says, how are you? By the way, if a random stranger sends you a message that says, how are you? How do you feel? Tell me in the chat box right now. How does it feel when a random stranger says, how are you? You know what I'm thinking in my head? I'm thinking to myself, who is this person? Who is this person? Reuven said, go hang yourself. Candace said, creeper. Yes. Why would you say, how are you? Are you like literally from space? Are you an alien? Don't tell me, how are you? It's inauthentic. It's a waste of time. Tell me what you want. Let's build a relationship. Let's get to know each other. Now, if your mother calls you and says, how are you? Or your father calls you and says, how are you? Then you say, oh my gosh, I love you so much, right? That's why you want to build trust. Build trust. Let's talk a little bit about Operation Diem. So I came up with this idea at the end of, I think it was at the end of September, and I even hired somebody full-time to help me with this, to send messages to people. I want to send 100 messages a day, okay? I want to send 100 messages a day. Now, let me ask you a question. How many messages do you send each day? Say 0 if you don't send any messages, and say 10 to 15 if you send a few messages, or say not sure if you have no idea. How many proactive messages do you reach out to people with every single day? If you're not messaging every single day, you're missing out. You're missing out. So you want to be messaging people every single day. So number 1 is people are afraid to message. And by the way, if it's 0, Candace, if it's 0, why? Why are you not messaging people? It's because you think you might be bothering them. It's because you think you might be bothering them. Now, if you're first posting, the key is to getting people to respond to your message. So posting, a lot of times when I get on the phone with people, what ends up happening is they're like, dude, I see you 3 times a day. 3 times a day. I love you. And that's why I got on the phone with you. If you wonder why people are ignoring your messages, it's because you don't post every single day. People say, Joe, I get your emails. I love to talk to you. I love your videos. You help me so much. Your advice is incredible. You literally have the most valuable content on LinkedIn because I'm adding value. Value first. So what is the first message that you send to people? I like sending gratitude messages. Hey, so great that we're connected. By the way, if you received a message from me before this webinar, say, I received a message from you, Joe. I messaged every single person on this webinar. And I said, I'm looking forward to what? To seeing you on the webinar, Joe, right? Candace received it. Who else received it? Who else received it? Shaya said he got the message. Who else got the message? Leah got the message. Cool. Joss got the message. Yitzi got the message. Reuven got the message. Forrest got the message. You get the message? Christine got the message. Now all you got to do is reply and say, I love you, Joe. I love you, Joe. That's it. Yitzi got the message. Cool. Thank you. By the way, if you need to email our team, if you have a question, a comment, concern, if you want to send a message of gratitude, email marketing@ajaxunion.com. My team helped me put this together. I'm not by myself. I have a team of people that help me. I'm just like to talk a lot, but my team likes to do a lot. So it's kind of how I get a lot of things done. So send them a message of gratitude to marketing@ajaxunion.com. Say, we listened to Joe's webinar. Your slide deck is beautiful. You guys are incredible. I love Ajax Union. Thank you for the value. And let us know what the value you got out of this. marketing@ajaxunion.com. Oh, and Michael, thank you so much for sharing it on LinkedIn. So I want to know what questions you have so that we can wrap this up and we can continue this conversation on LinkedIn. If you want any other information from me, you could always email me. Once again, this is the LinkedIn Authority Blueprint. And by the way, I want all of you guys to come tomorrow to my goal setting webinar, joeapfelbaum.com/goals, joeapfelbaum.com/goals, GOALS. And you will learn the 3 steps of how to actually execute goals on New Year's. So if you love this, and you got some value, tell me right now what you got out of this. What did you get out of this webinar? I want to know what you got out of this webinar. Tell me what your number 1 tip that you got. What are you going to do? Because if you don't do anything, you're wasting everyone's time. You're wasting your time, wasting my time, wasting everyone's time. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? DMing with intent. I love that. Setting specific LinkedIn goals. Jeff, you are amazing. What are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? Tell me what you're going to do as a result of seeing this. Boom, 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 boom. Guys, I want you to really think about this. This is your life. This is your life. Tavia said I should be posting every single day on LinkedIn, different posts to share. Hammer out my semi-strategy to complete my strategy. Awesome. All right, we're going to wrap this baby up. Thank you so much for being part of this. Devora, thank you. Joss, thank you. Candace, thank you. Yitzi, thank you. Tavia, thank you. Christine, thank you. All of you, you guys are amazing. I appreciate you. This was unbelievable. I look forward to seeing you guys very soon.